On July 13th, Saturn stations retrograde at 1 degree, 56 minutes of Aries, basically 2 degrees of Aries. And this is a standstill, a pause to look at what you are beginning to ensure that it is truly what you want, and to also be ready to realign, review, and reassess what needs to change in order for it to be more operational, stronger, clearer, and a more powerful beginning point. Of course, Saturn just entered Aries and has only been in this sign for a few months now. Saturn is stationing retrograde conjunct Neptune, which is now retrograde as well. So both planets are going to be retrograde in the first few signs of the zodiac, and giving us time here to make sure that what we are building and creating is in alignment with our dreams, with that next chapter, next adventure, next desire. And the Neptune influence brings in what you're intuitively feeling, what you're trusting before you see it. The Neptune energy makes things wobbly and uncertain, and Saturn wants to stabilize. Saturn wants there to be a concrete foundation here. So with both of these planets retrograde, there is now going to be time to look at what you're creating, starting, or wanting next, and to be aware of the practical things you need to put in place. Practical is one of Saturn's favorite words, as well as realistic. Saturn also likes work, goals, something to aim for. And so with the retrograde, now you're looking at, okay, am I getting this started in the right way? Maybe you're even wondering, what do I start? What is the new chapter? These are initiation energies, and maybe that's what you've been playing with and considering, trying to figure out what is the new thing. Why are you always talking about new things, Molly? Well, because the new is here in Aries. Saturn is starting a new 30-year cycle. Neptune and Saturn are going to be conjunct in February 2026 at almost 1 degree of Aries, and they're beginning a new 36-year cycle. So the new is happening, ready or not. It's coming in. These are slow-moving planets, so you have time to consider, ponder, scope it out. But the universe is saying the new is happening. So you do have to be on your game. You do need to look at where the world is changing and where you have 0 degrees of Aries in your chart, because that's where the new is going to be required for you. So we've had a sampling of the energy. The retrograde gives us, again, the time to review, reassess, reconsider. Saturn is going to re-enter Pisces and travel back to 25 degrees of Pisces. Station direct, and then move forward. That station direct will happen in December. So during this retrograde, our task is to look at, what am I beginning? What do I desire to begin? That's definitely about a new chapter. I mean, it's significant. These are significant new beginnings. This isn't just taking a new route to work in the morning. This is something big that is going to be beginning, especially next year, and you're already sensing it, seeing it, and feeling it. But now is the time to look at, well, what do I have to remove and get rid of that's blocking the new start, that's holding me back? Where are the limitations? Where are the boundaries I have to honor? And one of the boundaries, especially with Saturn, is time. That some things just take time. You can't speed through. And that's typically what Aries prefers. So there could be even a sense here of, I wish I was there faster. I wish this was happening faster. But it's not. Saturn in Aries slows down the impulsiveness and requires us to be more intentional, to be more aware of what's required. I think of Saturn in Aries as also, what we have to prepare. So this could be, what are the new skills that I'm going to need? What do I need to learn? Where am I needing to approach an area of my life with beginner's mind? And then the retrograde is, all right, let me look into that. Let me do some research. Let me plan this out. And then Saturn goes back into Pisces, and we are needing to continue to exfoliate, unravel, release. There can also feel like there's a void, a waiting game, a sense of, well, I did all I can do. Now it's just divine timing, or now it's just a matter of something else coming through or showing up, and I don't know what and I don't know when. So that's part of how we experience Saturn re-entering Pisces, and I'll talk about that in a few months when that occurs. But at this time, with Saturn stationing retrograde, there is an understanding of, okay, this is what I need to do and take care of. Saturn loves responsibility, commitment, loves where you're showing up to do the work, to get things figured out. And you might even see some things you need to do over during the retrograde. Let me review that again. Let me reassess the plan. Let me look at how something is going and check in on whether or not it's truly realistic. So it's a review period, realigning, reassessing, and it's all designed to help you have an even better, more solid start when Saturn then re-enters Aries in early 2026. So let's break it up. So we'll say this next 6 months is the preparatory work. Again, what I was saying about reviewing, replanning, reassessing, so that in early 2026, there's a more solid start. And how is it less than 6 months away? How is the next year only 5 or so months away? That's what's going to continue to happen with these energies. The acceleration of time, things moving at a faster pace. It's wild, right? But Saturn, one of the gifts of Saturn is that it keeps us grounded and clear in what to do today and then what to do tomorrow. So I hope this supports you in working with whatever is coming up for you, to know that even if you want something right away and it's not showing up right away, that doesn't mean it's not on its way. So there's a slowdown with the new starts for a reason and a purpose. And we don't always know why, right? But then early next year, or perhaps whenever, it will be evident to you, oh, that's why it didn't show up, or that's why something didn't come through on my timeline. It's because it was on another timeline that was slowing down the creation process. So don't take it personally. Don't think that you've missed anything. Don't lose trust in the process. And, remember that we're living in such big energies right now that even if it feels like it's a delay of some kind, then it comes through with a quickness. Then things all of a sudden show up and take off, and you're like, oh, it's happening now. It's finally coming together, and then it accelerates beyond what you anticipated. So even if it feels like 2 steps back before 1 step forward, I think that the 2 steps back could feel slow, but the 1 step forward is going to potentially blast off. So I hope that supports anything you are feeling or experiencing. We now have both the Saturn and Neptune retrograde in the early degrees of Aries. So it is meant to slow down this part of your life, but just trust that it's all right on time and it's all coming together in the best and highest possible way.